Why are young men conditioned to not feel? Why are young men conditioned to believe that aggression equals strength? Today is day 75 of my Practicing Visibility series. My name is Donovan. My goal is to become an even more known public figure for young people. I want to be a teacher that young people choose to learn from. I did something interesting right now. I'm going to be honest with you. I actually restarted this video because when I was talking, I try to make this like I don't edit it. I just speak what's on my mind. But I got kind of like caught up in my own thoughts, and it just felt very disorganized, and it didn't make a lot of sense. It didn't make a lot of sense for me, and I was the one talking. So I decided to restart it. But basically, today I got a chance to talk with two young men that started mental health organizations for their schools, specifically for the boys in their schools. I have met these young men at several conferences and have been supporting them and helping put this on. And it feels like a real gift to be working with the next set of leaders in this work, to meet young men who care and to see that they are questioning the systems that condition us. And that's what we talked about a lot today. And because when you're thinking about putting together a group for young men, that's supposed to be a support group where you can also learn about mental health education. One of the reasons that it's tough is because you're coming up against conditioning. And conditioning means basically like what we're trained to believe about the world and about ourselves. And I say trained because conditioning is often intentional, which means people condition us certain ways on purpose. Conditioning doesn't always have to be bad, but in a lot of ways, we've seen young men be conditioned for things that are harmful. So things that make it hard for them to be in community, have close relationships, to be emotionally intelligent, to have access to their emotions, right? And what they were talking about in this meeting was like, why? Why is that happening? And so I brought up this idea that it's easy to control people when you're conditioned to feel lonely, to feel isolated, to feel disconnected from yourself, and to feel disconnected from other people. Because other groups also condition people because of that. Groups like fraternities, right, recognize that people feel lonely and need to be seen. Groups like hate groups, not putting those two things together, right? Fraternities and hate groups are obviously very different, but they're going off of the same psychology of humanity, which is we see people who feel left out, people who feel unseen, who need to feel connected, and we're going to use that need for connection in a way that serves our purpose. And that purpose in hate groups is to spread hate. But they're bringing in young men who don't have community, who feel things that they can't process and they can't regulate. And they say, we have the solution for your need for community. We also have something we can blame this unprocessed anger for, right? These negative or these unpleasant feelings that you have, we have a culprit for that and we're going to blame them. And so I told them that what we're doing is really reconditioning boys and men, and we're reconditioning them towards humanity, right? Intentionally offering training and support to connect to your emotions, to connect to other people, to build stronger relationships, to learn how to communicate your feelings, to learn how to regulate yourself, right? We're conditioning them towards freedom. Our larger goal is a better society. That's our larger goal, where people feel better and do better. So I'm really happy I got to talk with them. Shout out to Mikey and Isaiah. I'm very proud of them. I'm very honored that I get to be of service to them. And at the end of the conversation, they were saying, oh, thank you for helping us, but also thank you for your work. And what I tried to explain to them is that now that they are doing the same work as me, right, in a different way, but doing the same work of trying to educate and help people take care of themselves so that they can feel better and do better, that we're in a ship, or we're in a fleet of ships, is the way I describe it. It's not just me, it's multiple ships. It is people who are doing this on large scale, people who are doing this in small scale, person to person, right? Like they basically just brought their ship to the fleet. It's not me, because if my ship falls, the work must continue. And when we look at it as a collective, it's a lot easier to see how the work continues. The fleet continues forward, even though my ship has left the fleet. If it's just me and I fall, then what happens to the work? The work feels disconnected. We don't see that we're in a fleet. So that's what I've been working on. That's what I've been thinking about. I am going to I'm going to a men's retreat this weekend. And I'm really excited because I get to be in community with men who care about this stuff. And we're going to be learning how to breathe. Okay. See you tomorrow.